much money as possible to buy Bitcoin.
Borrow money, buy Bitcoin.
But then
Correct.
why not just why not a Bitcoin ETF?
Well, so here's this is a sort of the classic question that was really hot like a year ago, right when the Bitcoin ETF was first coming out. Like, what will happen to MicroStrategy? And there people were saying that ETF will probably be good for miners, bad for MicroStrategy. I was one of these people, but the opposite happened. And the main reason is when you're buying MicroStrategy, you're not only theoretically buying the Bitcoin that they have, but so the argument goes, you're also buying them because of the Bitcoin that they will buy in the future. And basically the idea is that the amount of Bitcoin per share you own will grow. So not only is Bitcoin going up, but you're getting more Bitcoin per share.
If you have $50 million, why don't you just buy Bitcoin OTC? Why are you going to give it to this company that's going to buy it for you? That's all they're going to do.
Because for some reason, MicroStrategy seems to go up more than Bitcoin.
Because it's riskier.
It is? Isn't that company you're putting money into just buying Bitcoin? Why don't you just buy Bitcoin then?
So I think that there needs to be an underlying business. Like MicroStrategy has an underlying business, but we see a lot of these like public entities launching where their sole purpose is to buy Bitcoin. That doesn't make a tremendous amount of sense against an ETF. So in 21, in the pitch deck, it includes a lot of financial services. I wonder if one of the strategies here is to absorb or acquire Strike in some fashion, and then it becomes like an umbrella holding company. Mm-hmm. That would make a lot of sense to me, and it would definitely consolidate things for Jack as like a dual CEO. Frankly, I hope they buy them all. They're like fucking Pokemon. Like, buy as many Bitcoin as you can. I think it's great.
So you're happy about it.
Mine are going to be more expensive than other people's, but like, yeah, absolutely, buy them all.
I think the other important aspect of this is just like we've seen folks like MetaPlanet came in and repeated this MicroStrategy playbook, now strategy playbook last year, and MetaPlanet was the best performing stock of the year. But I think what's interesting about this is just the scale that they're jumping into immediately. Yeah, where they will be like the third largest, and also I'm pretty star-studded cap table as well. But I think one difference, say, between MetaPlanet and MicroStrategy has this legacy software business, and then they just issue securities to buy Bitcoin. Whereas MetaPlanet does a lot more like active derivative strategies to generate yield off sort of the Bitcoin volatility using a variety of option strategies. I think it sounds like with 21, they it's not just going to be acquiring Bitcoin. They might also be engaging in some similar yield strategies, but I guess we'll really see. And the reality is, the crazy thing, the reason why you saw a bunch of miners also copy this last year is because if someone is willing to give you, say, debt for 7 years at 0% interest to the tune of billions of dollars just so you can go buy Bitcoin, I mean, fuck, that's pretty tempting, isn't it?
There's also an open question as to whether or not they're buying new Bitcoin with the funding, or if this is just a vehicle for SoftBank, Cantor, Bitfinex, and
it's a great point.
Tether.
Yeah.
To basically like put their it's where they're going to like house their Bitcoin treasuries. I believe that's part of the mix, but we have to wait and see what
and if they did do that, I think the latest tweet I saw today was the SPAC shell. I don't think the deal's closed yet, but it's trading at like a 3 to 4x premium to NAV, which basically means that if they put in $1 worth of Bitcoin, it's now being traded in the market or valued in the market by around like at $3 or $4. So that arbitrage obviously tempting to money managers such as those.
Sure. Like the arb between MicroStrategy and 21 is going to be really interesting. Effectively, what MicroStrategy did, they were just trading volatility, right? Mm-hmm. He was able to buy, he was able to sell volatility at a much higher rate than he was able to access effectively, and that's basically how MicroStrategy like times their purchases of Bitcoin. We'll see. I think the trade collapses, and there's only a couple of winners, but at the end of the day, like, I hope they keep buying.
Well, the nice thing is, even if the trade collapses, but you think Bitcoin goes up, like when we talk about the trade collapsing, what it is the NAV premium. Like you basically valued $1 for each dollar of Bitcoin you have, hypothetically. If you're super bullish on Bitcoin, that's still, going to go up in the long run. So I still don't think we've seen the end of this. This seems to be like the meta trade of this cycle. So I think, we're going to just see more and more of this. And if we start seeing some of the big corporates start to, we're seeing nation states maybe rotate out of treasuries right now. if we start to see some other big corporates, beyond Tesla and MicroStrategy, maybe like a Facebook or an Amazon or Microsoft who's already voted on things like this, I think the trade might get even more popular if you're a company who has cash. And those are like real businesses. But if you're a company that has cash and doesn't really have a real business and you can just buy Bitcoin and all of a sudden people think you're hot shit, it's going to be very tempting. We're going to see a lot more of it.